as a top 50 player in the WNBA. Brittney Griner can't move up and down the court more than 6 consecutive times before she's out of breath and needs to sit down. Brittney Griner was benched last year by the Atlanta Dream because she can't play anymore.
Let's get straight to the point here. ESPN just dropped their top 50 WNBA players list for 2026, and the internet exploded immediately. Caitlin Clark, who finished 4th in MVP voting as a rookie, who shattered attendance records and pulled 3.2 million viewers to her playoff debut, sits at number 10. Not top 5, not even top 7, but 10th place. Here's the kicker though. Kelsey Plum ranks 9th, 1 spot ahead of her, and Alicia Gray sits at 7th, 2 spots higher. Both are solid players, absolutely no disrespect, but ranking them above the woman who dropped 19 points and 9 assists, while single-handedly transforming Indiana from lottery losers to playoff contenders? That's ESPN's bold take right there.
Then we have Caitlin Clark ranked 10 in the graphic. And my first thought was, okay, I understand why we have Caitlin Clark as the magazine cover here, but now we're rage baiting and just blatantly lying as if you guys actually had her ranked 10? You guys are really going to go to that extreme to get people to click into your article? You gotta lie and put her as ranked 10?
That reaction perfectly captures how thousands of fans felt opening this article, because this goes way deeper than one questionable ranking. When you dissect ESPN's complete list, a disturbing pattern emerges that seriously questions their entire approach. Take Alyssa Thomas at number 2. The Connecticut Sun forward, known mainly for passing and defense, somehow ranking as the 2nd best player in the entire league. She's above Nafisa Collier, who posted 21 points and 11 rebounds last season. She's above Breanna Stewart, a 2-time champion and former MVP. This same Alyssa Thomas shot a brutal 32% from the field during playoffs and has never been a legitimate MVP candidate. Yet here she sits at number 2.
10. It doesn't even start off good. A'ja Wilson at number 1. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to put up a fuss. All right, you got that. Alyssa Thomas at number 2. The dribble handoff merchant, Alyssa Thomas, at number 2. The I shoot like Bill Cartwright, Alyssa Thomas.
Check out this top 6 breakdown and tell me it makes sense. 2 New York Liberty players and 2 Las Vegas Aces players occupy 4 of the top 6 spots in the entire league. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark languishes at 10th, and her teammate Kelsey Mitchell completely missed the top 10 despite averaging 20 points per game. But here's where it gets really interesting. Paige Buchers, who played exactly 13 games last season due to injury, ranks 8th. She's ahead of Clark despite playing less than 1/3 of the season. ESPN's justification? She made the All-WNBA first team and finished 3rd in MVP voting during that tiny sample size.
Breanna Stewart at number 4. Jackie Young at number 5. They got Jackie Young as a top 5 player in the WNBA. And I like Jackie Young. We got her at top 5. Sabrina at 6th. So here we go, folks. In the top 6, you got two Las Vegas.
Here's what makes the Sabrina Ionescu ranking absolutely problematic. She's listed at 6th, sitting 4 full spots ahead of Caitlin Clark. Now Sabrina is undeniably incredible, a legitimate superstar who deserves major recognition. But let's examine the playoff performance that supposedly justifies this massive gap. During the 2024 WNBA Finals, Ionescu shot just 28% from three-point range. She struggled with efficiency throughout the entire postseason, and the Liberty needed Breanna Stewart's heroic efforts to capture their championship. Meanwhile, Clark finished 4th in MVP voting during her rookie campaign, led the league in assists, and dragged a Fever team that managed only 13 wins the previous year straight into playoff contention. Nobody's questioning whether Sabrina belongs in the top 10. She absolutely does. But is there really a 4-spot gap between her and Clark when statistical evidence suggests they should be practically neck and neck?
Paige Bueckers better than Caitlin Clark. Paige Bueckers last year wasn't even better than Caitlin Clark's rookie year. Paige Bueckers isn't the playmaker that Caitlin Clark is. She's not the rebounder that Caitlin Clark is. And from a scoring perspective, They just scored the same amount of points. So I can't even say that she's a better shot creator than... I can't even say any of that. She's a better...
That breakdown exposes something critical about ESPN's methodology here. When you calculate team representation, Atlanta Dream has 6 players in the top 50. New York Liberty has 6. Los Angeles Sparks has 5. Chicago Sky has 5. Las Vegas Aces has 5. And the Indiana Fever, the team that jumped from 13 wins to playoff contenders in one season. The team that broke attendance records in 17 different arenas. The team that generated more media coverage than the rest of the league combined. They have exactly 3 players in the top 50. 3 total: Caitlin Clark at 10, Aaliyah Boston at 14, and Kelsey Mitchell at 11. That's it, period. No other Fever player cracked this list despite their dramatic improvement, and the fact they remained competitive in virtually every game they played.
Jonquel Jones at 18. Dude, you got 4 New York Liberty players in the top 20. Jonquel Jones, Latu Sabali, Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu. Folks, there should be no pressure for this Indiana Fever team, especially coming from the outside. Arike Ongabawali at 20. Shot chucker Arike. A brick. Caleb McBride. Give me Caleb McBride over Arike.
Now we need to address the Brittany Griner situation, because this is where ESPN's credibility completely crumbles. Griner ranks 42nd on this list. 42nd. The same Brittany Griner who averaged 9.5 rebounds last season, who remains one of the league's premier defensive anchors when healthy, is somehow the 42nd best player in the entire WNBA. But here's the real kicker. Griner ranks behind Erica Wheeler, who's listed at 34th. Wheeler is a solid point guard and veteran presence who brings leadership and experience, but she's not a better player than Brittany Griner, not even remotely close. And she's definitely not better than Alyssa Fees, who doesn't appear in the top 50 at all, despite being one of the league's most efficient scorers. The methodology here is completely inconsistent and makes zero sense. Are we ranking players based on current ability? Then how is Paige Buchers, who played 13 games, ranked 8th? Are we ranking based on playoff performance? Then why is Sabrina Ionescu, who shot under 30% from 3 in the finals, ahead of players who performed significantly better in the postseason?
9.5 rebound Brittany Griner at number 42. Dejanay Carrington, 43. Erica Wheeler at 45. Yo, they got Erica Wheeler better than Leonie Febish? Yo, cut it the fuck out. Please, 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 please. Cut it out. Oh, shoot. They got Erica Wheeler better than Alyssa Smith. Oh, shit.
This is absolutely outrageous, folks. Let's examine the Jackie Young ranking at number 5, because this perfectly encapsulates the entire problem with ESPN's list. Young is an excellent player and a champion who absolutely deserves top 10 recognition. But 5th, ahead of Sabrina Ionescu, ahead of Caitlin Clark, ahead of Aja Wilson, Young averaged 15 points and 5 assists last season. Those are very solid numbers for a winning team, but they're not 5th best player in the league numbers. Not when Clark averaged 19 and 9, not when Nafisa Collier put up 21 and 11, not when you're trying to convince people this ranking stems from objective analysis rather than team success and market preferences. And that's the real issue here. This list feels less like an evaluation of individual talent and more like a reflection of which teams ESPN wants to promote. The Liberty and Aces dominate the top 10. The defending champion gets multiple representatives in premium positions, and the player who actually drove ratings and attendance, who brought casual fans into the sport for the first time in years, sits at number 10 like some afterthought.
Seen who was at 2 and exited out. Yeah, Alyssa Smith at 2. I almost threw up my oatmeal. So Kaylin is 10 because of injuries last season, despite winning MVP for USA. Sabrina leapfrogs her, despite playoff no-show and a full offseason hurt. And a player who's currently injured, had surgeries on both ankles and hasn't ran since September, didn't go down. That's a mouthful, isn't it? This is all so unserious. Yeah, this is... Bro, Alyssa Thomas at 2 is just as crazy, if not more crazy, than Caitlin Clark at 10. No. Caitlin Clark at 10 is crazier. Alyssa Thomas at 2 is bonkers to me. Bonkers. Sheesh. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, hype the video, and subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that.
Here's what makes this entire situation so incredibly frustrating. Caitlin Clark is simultaneously being exploited as clickbait while being completely disrespected in the actual content. Look at that thumbnail again. Who's front and center? Clark. Who's in the graphic with the number 10 plastered next to her name? Clark. ESPN knows exactly who drives engagement, who gets people to click their articles, who generates the conversations that boost their metrics, but then you read the actual rankings and she's buried at 10th, behind Paige Buchers, who played 13 games, behind Kelsey Plum, who's never finished top 5 in MVP voting, behind Aja Wilson, who's an excellent player but has never carried a team the way Clark carried the Fever last season. This is the textbook definition of having it both ways. Use Clark's face to sell the content, then rank her low enough to generate controversy and additional clicks from the inevitable backlash. It's cynical, it's transparent, and it completely undermines ESPN's credibility as an objective source of basketball analysis. The Alyssa Thomas ranking at number 2 is almost insulting to every player ranked below her. Thomas is a very good player and an elite facilitator who makes everyone around her better, but the second best player in the WNBA? Better than Nafisa Collier, who's been a top 3 MVP candidate for 2 straight seasons? Better than Breanna Stewart, a proven champion and former league MVP? Thomas shot 32% from the field in the playoffs. She's never been a serious scoring threat, and her value comes from playmaking, rebounding, and defense. Those are important skills. Absolutely. But they don't make you the second best player in a league that includes multiple 20-point scorers who also defend, rebound, and facilitate at elite levels.